only 1% of cruise passengers actually know about these dangers. Imagine stepping onto a cruise ship thinking it's the trip of your lifetime, only to realize later that danger was hiding in plain sight. Most seniors never notice these risks until it's too late. But today, I'll reveal the top 15 hidden dangers on cruises that every senior must know. Stay with me until number 1, because that single danger could completely change how safe your cruise really is. Don't skip a second. This list might just save your next vacation. Let's get started.
15. Getting lost in huge ships. Modern cruise ships are like floating cities. For seniors, this can feel confusing. There are long hallways, dozens of decks, and areas that all look the same. Many older travelers walk around trying to find their room, the dining hall, or the theater, and end up getting lost. This can cause stress, panic, or even health problems if they walk too much. Sometimes people end up in restricted crew areas or far from their group. To make it worse, signs are not always clear, and elevators can be slow or crowded. Some seniors may also forget their cabin number. This is why many older travelers carry a small map of the ship or take photos of landmarks to help remember their way back. Getting lost may sound small, but in a big ship at sea, it can become a scary problem. 14. Slippery deck floors. Cruise ship decks are beautiful, with pools, bars, and open sea views, but they are often wet and slippery. Water splashes from the pools, and sometimes rain or ocean spray makes the surface dangerous. For seniors who may already walk slowly or have weak balance, this becomes a real hazard. A small slip can cause a broken bone or a serious injury. Unlike at home, medical help is not always nearby. Most cruise ships do have doctors, but treatment at sea is limited. Also, decks can be crowded, and people rushing past may bump into seniors, making them lose balance. Some seniors wear sandals or slippers with little grip, which makes it worse. A simple walk to enjoy fresh air could end in a hospital bed. That is why experts say seniors should wear strong shoes and always hold railings on the deck.
Number 13. Tiny cabin bathrooms. Most cruise ship cabins are smaller than hotel rooms, and their bathrooms are even smaller. For young travelers, this might not matter, but for seniors, it can be very risky. The floors are usually hard and can get slippery after a shower. Space is so tight that turning around can be difficult. If someone loses balance, there may be nothing solid to grab except a thin shower curtain. Many bathrooms also have small steps or raised edges, which can trip people. For seniors with arthritis, back pain, or poor eyesight, using these bathrooms becomes uncomfortable and unsafe. A fall inside such a small space can cause serious injuries, and it's hard for others to quickly reach in and help. This is why some seniors request accessible cabins with larger bathrooms and handrails. Sadly, many do not know this option exists until it's too late. Number 12. Medical emergencies at sea. Cruise ships are like small floating cities, but unlike a city, they don't have a full hospital. If a senior suddenly feels very sick or has a heart problem, the ship's small medical team can only do limited treatment. Serious cases often need air evacuation, which can be delayed depending on location and weather. Imagine being hundreds of miles away from land, with every passing minute feeling longer than the last. Seniors are at higher risk of sudden health issues, and many believe that help is always nearby. The truth? Help might be hours away. That's why it's critical to travel with medical records, necessary medicines, and good insurance. What feels like a dream trip could turn into a nightmare if these details are ignored. Many seniors never think about it, but this hidden danger can change everything in a heartbeat.
11. Motion sickness and balance problems. Cruise ships are massive, but the ocean is even more powerful.
Seniors often underestimate how much rocking and swaying can affect them. Seasickness may sound minor, but for older travelers, it can trigger dizziness, dehydration, and even dangerous falls. A gentle sway that feels like nothing to younger passengers can feel like a storm to someone with weaker balance. Imagine trying to walk down a hallway while the floor seems to move under your feet. Every step feels like a risk. Cruise ships may offer motion sickness medicine, but prevention is better. Many seniors avoid the ship's center, where the motion is less, and instead book cabins at the very front or back, which makes the movement stronger. Not realizing this mistake can make the whole trip unbearable. What should have been a relaxing holiday may quickly turn into a struggle just to stay steady. 10. Isolation from family and doctors. On land, a quick phone call or hospital visit is simple. At sea, things are very different. Seniors often assume they'll stay connected during the cruise, but internet on ships is slow, expensive, and sometimes unavailable. If a health scare happens, contacting family or a trusted doctor is not always possible. Imagine feeling sick, confused, and far from the people you depend on most. That emotional stress can make small health problems feel much worse. Many seniors also rely on regular doctor check-ins, but on a ship those appointments vanish. Suddenly, even the simplest advice from a doctor becomes out of reach. This isolation is a hidden danger many ignore until it's too late. Being cut off from support doesn't just affect safety, it can turn what should be joyful memories into moments of fear, uncertainty, and deep regret during the trip.
9. Rough weather and sudden storms. Most cruise ads show calm blue seas, but the ocean can be wild and unpredictable. For seniors, sudden rough weather is more than just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. High winds and rough waves make it hard to walk, increasing the risk of serious falls. Outdoor decks become slippery, and cabins shake as if caught in an earthquake. Imagine being in the middle of the ocean, hearing the ship creak and sway while rain lashes against the windows. Younger travelers may treat it like an adventure, but for seniors with weaker bones or health problems, it's frightening. Storms can also delay medical help, worsen seasickness, and trap passengers indoors for days. Cruise lines rarely highlight this risk, yet it's one of the most common dangers at sea. Seniors must prepare for the reality that the ocean doesn't always stay calm. Sometimes it fights back hard. 8. Risk of stomach illness. On cruise, hundreds or even thousands of people live together in a closed space. This makes it very easy for stomach illnesses like norovirus to spread quickly. If one person gets sick, it doesn't take long before many others feel the same. The illness often comes from touching infected surfaces or eating contaminated food. The symptoms can be very uncomfortable, like vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach cramps. On land, you can stay home and rest, but on a cruise, you are stuck on a moving ship with limited options. Medical staff can help, but they cannot stop the spread completely. For seniors, this is even harder because dehydration from stomach illness can become serious very quickly. Washing hands often and being careful about what you eat can reduce the risk, but once the virus spreads, avoiding it becomes very difficult.
7. Medical emergencies. Cruises have doctors and nurses on board, but they are not like full hospitals. If a senior has a serious medical emergency, like a heart attack or stroke, the treatment options on the ship are limited. The medical team can only provide basic care until the ship reaches a port or until a helicopter evacuation is possible. This delay in advanced treatment can make the difference between life and death. For seniors who may already have health problems, this is a real danger. Even something small, like a fall, can become serious without proper equipment or specialists available. Many cruise lines encourage passengers to buy travel insurance, but that still doesn't solve the problem of time. Emergency situations at sea are always harder to handle. Seniors need to think about their health before booking, because once you are far from land, help can take a long time to arrive. 6. Getting stranded in ports. Cruises stop at beautiful ports, giving passengers a chance to explore. But if you return late, even by a few minutes, the ship may leave without you. Cruise schedules are very strict, and they do not wait for passengers who miss the boarding time. For younger travelers, catching up might be easier, but for seniors, it can be very stressful and dangerous. Imagine being left behind in a foreign country without your belongings, medication, or even your passport, because those are usually kept in your cabin. Trying to find help, dealing with language barriers, and arranging travel alone can feel overwhelming. Many seniors have faced this situation and struggled to reunite with their ship. The risk of getting stranded makes it important to always return early and avoid taking unnecessary chances while exploring. Once the ship sails away, it is almost impossible to stop it.
Number 5. Fire on the ship. Most people think of drowning when they imagine cruise ship dangers, but fire is actually one of the biggest risks at sea. Fires can start from kitchens, faulty wiring, or even careless smoking. On land, fire trucks can arrive quickly, but on a ship, passengers and crew have to fight the fire themselves. If the fire spreads, thick smoke can fill the hallways, making it hard to breathe and find a safe exit. Seniors may find it difficult to move quickly during an emergency evacuation, especially with panic all around. Fires at sea are rare but very dangerous because they can disable the ship's power and cause chaos. There have been past cruise disasters where fire forced everyone to evacuate into lifeboats. For seniors, the thought of escaping down narrow stairs or waiting in lifeboats can be terrifying. Safety drills help, but the risk remains real. Number 4. Getting sick on a cruise. Imagine being far out at sea and suddenly you feel very sick. On a cruise, this is not as rare as people think. Cruise ships have thousands of people in close spaces, so illnesses can spread quickly. Even something small like food poisoning or a stomach bug can ruin the whole trip. There are doctors on board, but they may not have the same medical facilities as a hospital on land. If the sickness is serious, you may need to be evacuated, which can be stressful and very expensive. Seniors with weaker immune systems can catch infections more easily. Even seasickness can become a big problem, making you weak and tired. The best way to protect yourself is to carry your medicines, wash hands often, and avoid crowded areas when possible. One unexpected sickness can turn a dream cruise into a painful memory. Number 3. Running out of medicines. For many seniors, medicines are a daily need. Now imagine being stuck on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean and realizing you forgot to bring enough. This is one of the biggest dangers people do not think about. Unlike on land, you cannot just go to the nearest pharmacy. Cruise medical centers might not have the exact medicine you need, or they may charge very high prices. Missing medicines can cause serious health problems, especially for heart, blood pressure, or diabetes patients. Even a small gap in taking medicine can cause emergencies. That is why it is very important to pack extra, keep them in original boxes, and carry them in hand luggage instead of checked bags. Seniors should even carry a list of medicines and prescriptions. Running out of medicines at sea can be a silent but very real danger. Number 2. Dangerous excursions. Many cruises offer fun shore excursions like walking tours, bus trips, or even adventurous activities. While they sound exciting, these trips can be risky for seniors. The paths may be uneven, too steep, or require long walks in the hot sun. Some excursions are not well planned for older travelers, and rushing to keep up with the group can lead to exhaustion or falls. Medical help may not be nearby, especially in small towns or islands. Also, some local operators may not follow strong safety rules, making accidents more likely. Even getting on and off buses or boats can be tricky. Seniors may feel pressured to join because everyone else is doing it, but it is important to choose carefully. Picking a safe, slow-paced trip is better than taking risks. A single accident during an excursion can turn a relaxing cruise into a nightmare. Number 1. Emergency evacuations. The biggest fear on a cruise is an emergency evacuation. Imagine being in the middle of the ocean and suddenly hearing alarms. It could be a fire, a serious storm, or a health emergency. Evacuating a huge cruise ship is not easy. Seniors may struggle to move quickly, climb stairs, or get into lifeboats. In stressful moments, panic makes it even harder. Some emergencies happen at night when people are asleep, adding to the confusion. Rescue ships or helicopters may take hours to reach. If it is a medical evacuation, costs can go up to tens of thousands of dollars. This is why cruise safety drills are important, but many people do not take them seriously. For seniors, moving carefully and calmly in such situations is extra challenging. An evacuation is rare, but when it happens, it can be the most dangerous part of the cruise. So those were the 15 hidden dangers that most seniors never see coming on a cruise. Which one surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget, I'll be sharing more cruise safety secrets soon. Until then, stay safe, plan smart, and enjoy the journey without fear. Click any of these videos, and I'll see you in a moment.